Well, it really seems to be a continued conversation, Neil. The price of property right across Dubai, it doesn't matter what sector you're looking at. People are always talking about bargains, and everyone's also talking about, I think my rent's going to go up. How can I stop it from going up? What do I need to do?
Buy a property.
Buy a property is sometimes always the best solution. To get more details about this, a friend of the show is joining us again. He's officially awarded Dubai's best quality broker in 2021 for the super prime luxury market. Riccardo Scala from RiccardoScalaEstates.com. Looks like, are you joining us from the golf course, are you?
I am. Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm not on the golf course, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm not on the golf course.
I thought you were...
I was working this morning. Had a good, long, hard day this morning, and then my son was off school today. Their school was off, so I took him to the safari park here in Dubai.
Oh,
so I'm joining you from Dubai Safari Park right now.
That's amazing. So now, whenever we talk about Dubai, and Kitch and I, we have this conversation literally almost every single day. The way rents are going up, the way there is a massive interest in this market, is this a temporary upward trend, or is this something that is going to be there for some time to come?
Listen, it's a question that if I had a crystal ball, I could answer it really easily. But the general consensus is that 2023 is going to be a very interesting year when it comes to continued sales here in Dubai. That's the general consensus with peers in the industry. How that's going to look, we're still kind of seeing how that's going to transpire in Q1. But from the evidence, of course, from last year with the transactional evidence that came from the super prime side of the market, $10 million and up, it's strong. And it was really strong last year. And there's no reason for it to slow down because Dubai is still producing homes of a very, very high standard.
Well, when you look at the research that came out, so it was the Henley Global Citizens Report projected that our country, the UAE, would attract the largest number of millionaires in the world for 2023. Usually it's Singapore, Australia, Israel, Switzerland or the USA that are attractive. 4,000 millionaires, they believe, will migrate to the UAE in 2022, which really does give the rise to both the number of properties that are doing these record prices. Is that half the reason you can see so much new development and new construction? They're just trying to keep up with this demand?
I think so. Yeah, I mean, the honest answer to that is yes. Because of what we saw last year, because we saw how attractive Dubai was as a city to attract millionaires and billionaires to the city, and we have now these reports coming out that more and more are going to keep coming. We know that the incentives that are being always put in place continually every week from Dubai gives the opportunity to attract more and more people to come to a city like this. So I don't see any reason why. We just have to keep up with the property demand now.
I mean, say, you mentioned, the keeping up with the property demand, which means creating the 10 million plus properties. Marina's taken, yes. JBR's taken, the Palms literally taken, the new Palms under construction. Where else do these new 10 million plus properties come at?
Well, I think what we're seeing just now is we have to look at what we have. Of course, there are new developments that are being created and built and developed now over the next few years, and that goes without saying. But they are 2, 3, 4, 5 years away. So what we have to do now for 2023 is we have to look at the established communities that are here in Dubai, and we have to see how these communities continue to pivot and to adapt to the new demand for the new type of clientele that are coming into the city. So what that means essentially is properties that are now being renovated, properties that are being upgraded, and the difference now, I believe, compared to maybe 2-3 years ago is the taste and the standard that people expect has got a lot higher, and so the renovations and the quality of finishings become a lot higher as well. True. And when that happens, of course, the value goes up, it stays strong, and when you're new coming into Dubai, or if you're buying for the first or second time, you're looking for quality nowadays as opposed to just settling. And as long as properties are continuing to be renovated to a high level, and as long as there's people out there that appreciate what it means to have a property that maybe comes fully furnished and all you have to do is bring your suitcases and move in, they will sell, and they will sell in the established communities that we have just now.
Yeah, Riccardo, I had to host an event for Majid Al Futtaim Properties a couple of months ago, and when they said to me, oh, it's going to be on the beach, I was expecting, Lamur, Palm Jumeirah. No, it was out at Studio City. Because, they've been able to, make a beach with some properties around it. And I think that's that goes back to your question, Neil, is And that is the story of Dubai. International millionaires want a house on the beach. Oh, well, if the beach is full, we'll just build a beach in the middle. There's always a solution.
This is Dubai, right? And this is we live in the sand. This is the desert.
Yeah.
So there's always opportunity to create. I am for the Tilal Al Ghaf project a couple of years ago, a year and a half ago, I was brought in myself to do some consulting for them as a group to help them understand what type of quality they were going to have to build around the lagoon that they're building, because around the lagoon they have these beautiful larger detached homes, and of course these are the big expensive ones for that community. So I was brought in to give them an understanding of the type of quality that needs to be put into these homes in comparison to the quality that you see on the Palm and that you see in Emirates Hills and that you see in Jumeirah Bay. So my insight and my opinion, I hope was valuable for them, and I know from the transactions that they're doing up there just now, they're establishing this new community in that area. So
Are you then finding that, for example, a community like that, you're not on the Palm or you're not on the Marina, which has already got a distinct international reputation, in order to facilitate the buyer to say, yeah, you're going to have to move inland, but we're going to build a man-made beach and have man-made pools. Are you then having to offer even more luxury to entice them away from the traditional areas?
To an extent, yes. And to be honest with you, there's a lot of people out there that love the appeal of what it means to live on the waterfront, but also don't really like living on the waterfront at the sea because of the
sand or
the climate conditions or the conditions that come with that, you know? Right. So when you have a man-made scenario around a lagoon, for example, that has treated water and it's swimmable and everything else, it then becomes appealing because for certain type of clients, it's the best of both worlds. True. So, yeah.
No, it's interesting that you make the point that you made that about the existing communities now upscaling to probably given to the customers that are coming in. Would there be an opportunity for someone, maybe in that case, pick up those properties at whatever existing prices, renovate them or raise them, and then recreate them with the best fitments, and then upsell it within a year and a half time, and pocket like a large amount of cash?
Yeah. The simple answer to that is yes. It's my belief and it's my understanding, along with my peers in the industry, that you have, many of these, let's call them streets, all different streets in Dubai, in different communities. And on that street, we are used to seeing a certain level of housing and they would all sell for the same type of price. But now what's happening is people are renovating those homes.
Right.
So when they're renovated to a very high standard, of course the value of that home is much more expensive than the one next door. And then, of course, the neighbour 2 doors down decides to do their renovation as well. And so it goes without saying that the value of homes will increase as long as the location is the right location. And I believe that what we're going to now start to see is the maturity of Dubai as a city and in the real estate market will develop in seeing these communities where these master communities were built and homes were delivered by the master developer are now being renovated by the personal owners themselves.
Right.
And what they're doing is they're creating homes of such a high level that naturally the price increases. And there are people out there that appreciate it. There are people that want in these communities that maybe now feel and maybe think, do you know what? They're now 5, 6, 7, 10 years old. Yeah. They're getting a little bit old, but that one looks amazing. And I want this community and I want that home because it looks fantastic. That's what I think is happening now, and that's what I think is going to happen.
Well, Riccardo, we thank you for your time when you're off enjoying some family time with your son. So thank you again for joining us here on TSB TalkSport Business. There is Riccardo Scala from RiccardoScalaEstates.com, and it's always fascinating to hear about the property market. We're all invested here because it's having a dramatic effect on both the economy and the price of living that we're seeing around Dubai. But just to get an insight into, given there's a new clientele that are coming, there's a new set of tastes that needs to be developed to cater that clientele.
Yeah, I mean, see, everyone requires a different kind of home. Everyone requires a different kind of setup. And if you are, if you have been able to deliver that, I think it just works because, I mean, when even I, just for the fun of it, I keep looking at properties on various websites and apps and stuff to see what is the kind of build, what is the kind of make, and what is the kind of landmass that's available. Not every property within the given amount will cater to my taste. And I was like, yeah, I mean, yes, you are 12 million, but I don't like you. There's something which is 15 million, but I like you.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, isn't it? 0586 861 003 on TSB, TalkSport Business on Talk 100.